Hello and welcome to UMD News Analysis, and I'm Shimalis Marasa. Our today's program deals with an analysis on the port of Asab. We invite you all to stay with the program. The new puzzles of the Asab port, an overview from Yosef Gabrihewitz in depth. It's been 31 years since Eritrea got its independence from Ethiopia. The two countries were in hostile situation for this long, and the last time they were in cordial relation was at the initial years of independence and over the last 3 or 4 years when the Prosperity Party in Ethiopia assumed power. The two leaders, Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia and Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea, started a friendly, not country-based, but more of personal relationships some 4 years ago. Their initial pleasant personal relationships, especially over the last 2 years, was in the mission meant to aggress Tigray, kill its citizens, dismantle its infrastructure, and now to disconnect it from the rest of the world. The atrocities and crimes are considered among the worst in the world, and the genocidal war puts the collaborators in crime among the top criminals in the world. Abiy's green light to Isaias didn't only dismantle the infrastructure and institutions in Tigray and beyond, but also affected the lives of millions of citizens, mostly women and children, in the region. After about 19 months into the genocidal war in Tigray, the issue of Asab port is becoming high on the agenda, especially over the last few weeks. The interests shown by Abiy Ahmed government towards the Red Sea and some of the moves and rhetoric have put many into surprise, and reasons for the piling up of Ethiopian forces to the Asab port is remaining a puzzle. Accordingly, our analyst here at UMD Media, Yosef Gabrihewitz, has dissected the idea from different angles, and we will give you the bird's eye view. This is UMD News Analysis with me, Shimalis Marasa. We invite you all to stay with the program. Recently, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has told journalists in a closed door that if one wants to be brave enough to sacrifice for the love of the country, it is for the Red Sea. For Ethiopians, it might add some kind of hope, despite the complex and deep-rooted problems in the country. For Eritreans, on the other hand, it is not pleasant news to hear. In any case, new developments are being observed in and around the Asab port, and there are several speculations, and we will try to observe these scenarios one by one according to Yosef Gabrihewitz viewpoints. One indication as to how the Asab issue is of great concern to Eritrea is the fact that it started to pull some of its troops from West Tigray and piling its troops to the border and central parts of the country. Meanwhile, in connection with the commemoration of its anniversary, Eritrean officials have started to accuse the Tigray forces for possible invasions when there were no such signs in the Tigray side. According to Yosef, the involvement of Eritrean forces in the internal affairs of Ethiopia and stretching itself into so many locations looks that it left an open space around the Asab port. Hence, whether it is up on the agreement between Abiy and Isaias or any other scenarios or agreements, some Ethiopian forces have believed to be piling up around that location. This is one of the puzzles that needs to be addressed to understand what is going on around the port and beyond. Another hint that could add up to this is the recent two comments by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. First one is when he secretly interacted with local journalists and said, if anyone would like to die for his country, it should be only for the Red Sea. The second one is when he talked about the siege in Tigray. He said, it is not Tigray which is under the siege, but rather Ethiopia. By implication, Abiy might be stating that Ethiopia needs support, and the Asab issue might be directly related with this basic understanding. The West's interest and Eritrean alignment with the Russia during the Ukraine invasion is the other point one needs to closely monitor. According to Joseph, Isaias could do anything on the plate as far as it sustains its power, and the issue of territorial integrity and sovereignty is not much of its concern, unlike many Eritreans. Here, it is worth noting that many powerful nations, including Russia, China, and the United States, have a great interest on the Red Sea. Middle Eastern countries are also not out of the equation. The other two main scenarios that Joseph mentioned in his analysis is Djibouti's interest and the foreign investors extracting minerals, mainly potash, around the port. As to Djibouti, there were some hostilities between the two countries related with the border issues. In addition, the port of Djibouti is what Ethiopia is predominantly using, and this move might bring some shift on the equation. As to the companies which are involved in the extraction of minerals, they need safety and security for their resources and employees, and these incumbent moves might remain to be of a concern to them. Hence, Joseph asks, what if Abiy and Isaias have agreed for the former to provide a kind of guarding services to these companies? The if questions of Joseph's analysis continue on. The Tigray government, which is not totally out of the equation. However, based on the rhetoric from the government of Tigray and depending on its other priorities, this might not be of great concern right now from their side. It is still open for analysis, though. The other most important issue that Joseph has raised is the Afari people's interest and concern in the region. From Isaiah's side, like most parties and groups in the region, everyone is assumed to be a threat, an enemy. Likewise, Isaias might deal with either Abiy or any other forces to dismantle any moves by these groups around that location. In any case, the issue of Assab will continue to be the focus of many analysts and actors. It might even be an area of contention for many parties within the region and beyond. Joseph's in-depth analysis may come up with other possible clues in the future, and we invite you all to listen to his program in Tigrinya. Will the people, government, and other regional and international actors smoothly address the issue and bring a viable and sustainable solution? Are these possible scenarios be best applicable for the case in point? We will wait and see. This has been Shimalis Marisa Mikhail with UMD News Analysis Program. Thank you for watching and have a good one.